Okay, again, the Nearpod link and the code is in today's classroom assignment. The code is EXDRK, and the link is in the assignment. I have Shaquasia, Ciara, Giovanni, Jalasia, and Takia in the Nearpod. Again, thank you so much, Eddie and Ciara, for having your cameras on. If we can go ahead and start getting those turned on and ready to engage in today's class, that would be great. Eddie, I have you in the Nearpod. Good morning, Mela. Thank you for having your camera on and for being in the Nearpod ready to go. Now is a great time to text your friends and tell them to come join us in class. Not feeling. Again, thank you so much, Ciara, Arabia, and Eddie for having your cameras on. If you, for some reason, do not have your camera on, be prepared to stay after you submit your exit ticket, so that way we can touch base and figure out what tech issues we have that we need to deal with so you can start having your cameras on in class. Thank you, everybody, for getting into the Nearpod. We'll give you 30 more seconds to get your workstation set up, and then we will get started. Again, if you are just joining us, the Nearpod link is in the classroom assignment. Also, I apologize. It sounds like there is yard work going on outside of my apartment. Because of course there is. Great, let's go ahead and get started. So just as a reminder of our APUSH norms, all in. Reminder, attendance and cold call responses are being logged in the Zoom tracker, and this is going to create a quiz grade every week. Again, this is both attendance and cold call. Please, in the Zoom chat, stamp for us, why do you think we would include cold call? Give you guys 30 seconds to respond to that answer. Why are we grading if you guys respond to a cold call? Make sure your responses go to everybody and not just me. Beautiful. Thank you, Kamaya, Ciara, Jalasia, and Giovanni. That is exactly correct. This is going to be the way that we are able to make sure that everybody is on the same page and that we are all engaged with the day's materials. So, again, remember the Zoom expectations are that your video is on and your microphones are off to show engagement, and you are only using the chat when prompted. Again, only use that chat when prompted. Thank you, Mela. Thank you, Giovanni, for getting those cameras on. As a reminder, all assignments are going to be through Google Classroom. Every morning, I am getting up and turning on Nearpod so I can post the link in the assignment. So as you're getting ready for class, you should be able to log on to Nearpod before we even get started in the classroom. And finally, make sure you have a productive learning space set up. Make sure you're using a Chromebook and that you have all necessary materials. As a reminder, if you are having any technical errors in terms of cameras or mics not working, no access to laptops, or if you're having any issues with Nearpods or your assignments, please email me and your other teachers ahead of time. And also, if it's a technical error, call Ms. Anderson so she can troubleshoot with you and try to correct it when necessary. As always, if you have a Chromebook, please have your screen set up so the right-hand side is your Zoom gallery view, and the left-hand side is both the Nearpod and the Google Classroom assignment. I'll give you 30 seconds to make sure your space is set up for a productive class. Great. Now, what material, we actually do not need paper for Cornell notes today, sorry. What materials do we need for today, Shakeem?
Sorry. You need paper for Cornell notes, writing utensil, Google assignment pulled up, Nearpod access, all other tabs closed.
Beautiful. And what is our agenda for the day, Mela? Mela might be having a technical issue, so Mela, I will reach out to you directly. What is our agenda for the day? Eddie.
Norms and agenda, do now, oral drill, source, annotations, discourse, other type.
Thank you. As a reminder, just make sure that whenever we do a cold call that you respond promptly within 10 seconds so I can give you that 100 for a cold call. But if you are having a technical error with either your microphone or something like that after I call on you, please chat me very quickly so that way I do not mark you down as losing points. We are now going to transition to the do now. Today, your do now is page 1 of your classroom document. Page 1. You're going to have 5 minutes to complete as you review our annotation skills that we are going to be using today. You have 5 minutes on the clock for your do now, beginning now. Three and a half minutes left, 3.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes, halfway there, I'm jumping in your guys' documents, and I'm really impressed seeing the very specific strategies that you guys are pointing out for annotations. One minute left. Let's go and make sure we transition to question number 3 if we are not there yet. And in 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Wonderful job on those do nows. Something I want to push and reinforce our thinking on is, why do you think I am specifically focused on the POV in the historical context? Why the POV in historical context? Mela.
So that we know, like, the context behind what's going on in the document.
So I want to push this. Why specifically am I focusing on the POV corner in the historical context? Why do you think I'm choosing to highlight the POV corner in historical context instead of like the audience and the purpose? I'll take a hand for this one. Shakeem.
I think like if you know the POV, you can know like what like side that the author of the article is actually on about a topic.
Beautiful. Shakeem is exactly right by going directly to the POV. Jalasia, can you revoice that for us? Jalasia, can you revoice what Shakeem just said about the POV, please? Okay, Jalasia might be having some technical issues, so I will reach out to her. Ciara, can you revoice what she said?
Basically what he said was, the POV corner is important because like it could determine on which side the author or the person is on.
Beautiful. Thank you guys very much for that. Okay, I'm just reaching out to Jalasia in just a second. Okay. Awesome start on today's Do Now. We are now going to transition to our oral drill fill in the blank. You will now see that live on Nearpod. We are going to take 3 minutes to complete it. 3 minutes to fill in the blank and practice these important key terms. go ahead and get started. Awesome. I have Alonso's responses. You have 2 more minutes. Awesome. I have Skyan's responses, Arabia's responses. Great. I have Mela's, Ciara's, Giovanni's, Takia's, Mahmoud, 100%. Shakeem, 100%. 90 more seconds. Maya, 100%. Awesome. I see some really impressive scores on here. Great. Effective use of time, you guys. It looks like basically everybody has submitted with some time to spare, which is awesome to see. So we are going to go ahead and stop there. I need to turn off the timer so it doesn't go off while we are talking. Awesome. So something I want to really point out when it comes to these fill in the blank quizzes is this is all practice. So if you got a score that is maybe not exactly what you were hoping for, you didn't get a score as high as you would want, that's okay. The point of the oral drill and the point of the do now is to practice, because the more we practice, the better we're going to get. So it's about using all of this time to go, oh, that's why I forgot that key term, and then practicing that key term later. So that way, if you got maybe a 6 out of 10 today, you can get a 9 out of 10 tomorrow. So awesome, awesome work today. We are now going to transition into some primary source practice. Yesterday, we practiced our strategies of primary source annotations and the role of the encomienda system in Spanish colonization. Today, we're going to take a deeper look at the Pueblo Revolt, and today our goal is to determine why did the Pueblo people revolt against the Spanish in 1680? What were they thinking? So I want you guys to take 45 seconds to contribute to our collab board on the Nearpod. Why do you think the Pueblo Revolt? Go ahead and start responding. Great, I'm seeing some ideas coming in. Great, awesome responses. There is one key term that I see keep coming up in the collab board. What is that key term, that key academic vocabulary term? Yabdi, what is that key academic term? Yabdi might be having some tech issues, so I will reach out to her. Alonzo, what is that key academic term?
Encomienda.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Alonzo. That's a 100. So, encomienda. So as Shakim wrote in the collab board, the encomienda system is a form of slavery. And Jalasia says this, that they were tired of being enslaved and dealing with harsh laws. Today, we are going to deep dive into some primary source documents to really come to the understanding of why did the Pueblos revolt? Can you please read today's main inquiry out loud? Skyan.
Why did the Pueblos revolt against the Spanish in 1680?
Awesome. Thank you so much, Skyan. So that is what we're going to do today. Because we are still getting reacquainted with annotating primary sources, we are going to be annotating these one at a time and then coming back and discussing them as a group. You can find document 1 on page 2 of your class documents. You are going to have 4 minutes to annotate document 1, looking for the 4 corners and writing a significant statement, which is the answer to the main inquiry. Again, you have 4 minutes to complete these annotations. Go ahead and begin. You have 1 more minute to finish your annotations. Go ahead and take the next 15 seconds to finish up your annotations. Wonderful. So looking at this very first document, what is significant about Ayeda's point of view? What is significant about his point of view? Starting with Alexis. Alexis, what's significant about his point of view? Okay, Alexis might be having some technical errors. Remember to respond within 10 seconds to a cold call, so that way you can get that participation point. If there's a technical error, make sure you chat me very quickly, so that way we can address that. Okay, so looking at the POV, the source line, a Franciscan monk, what is important about that? Checking in with Jalasia.
That he's Catholic and he's a monk.
Beautiful. Why do we think him being a monk would be important? Why do you think him being a monk is important? Chat into the Zoom chat. Why is being a monk important? Make sure your response is going out to everybody and not just me. Okay, so what I'm saying in the chat is that we think that him being a monk is important because he's supposed to care about the well-being of all, or he is supposed to be religious and looks out for the best in people. But what I want us to push is this idea that he's a monk. Who is he writing to? I want us to look further into the source line. Who is his audience? Great, I see the king coming up. Why is that important? Why do we think it's important that he's writing the king of Spain? I'm sorry, that was an unclear direction. Why is it important that he's writing to the king of Spain? Put it into the Zoom chat. Interesting. Do you think that him writing to the king is increasing or decreasing the Spanish's responsibility in the New World? How at fault are the Spanish in this document? Jalasia, can you unmute and build on this idea that it doesn't feel like he's really asking for help?
Because in the document, he's just saying everything that he sees. Like, he's not saying what they need to do to help or what they need to do to fix anything. He's literally just saying it. It's like you're telling them, but what are you really telling them for?
Beautiful. I love that. Okay, so now we're going to go to the next two documents. You are going to have 8 minutes to respond to read and annotate the next two documents. The first is a primary source, so you have all 4 corners in a significant statement. And the third document is a secondary source, so you are annotating for a claim and significance. Again, you have 8 minutes to do so. Go ahead and get started. Five and a half minutes left. 3 more minutes. 3 more minutes. You have about 90 more seconds. Okay, 30 seconds. You should be finishing your annotations on the technically document number 3. Great, time is up. So we're gonna just answer this main inquiry together before we transition to the exit ticket. According to you, and according to these 3 documents, you can choose any of them, why did the Pueblo revolt against the Spanish? Starting with Leah, then going to Kaishan, and ending with Samaj.
So, one of the things that the Spanish did was put them into slavery,
Mhm.
and they labored them as well.
Mhm. Leah, what's the name of that type of slavery?
Is it indentures? No.
Starts with an E.
Oh, encomienda.
Beautiful. So something I want to stamp really quick is saying slavery for the Native Americans. While that's accurate, we want to make sure we're saying encomienda because that's a very specific type of slavery that only the Native Americans are under. So this is where using our specific key terms is super important. Okay, so picking up, you can either build on what Leah said or add your own evidence. Kaishan.
So yeah, they are being mistreated. That's
In what ways?
right. Forced manual labor, not being fed a lot. They didn't have their own rights, no free rights or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Being beat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome, thank you. And finishing with Samaj. Again, you can either build or revoice what you've heard other people say. Samaj, I see you're unmuted, but we can't hear you. Samaj, I think we're having some technical issues, so I'll just I'll chat you when class is over, but thank you for trying. Kayla, can you finish us out? Again, you can either build on or voice what somebody else has said.
Yeah, the Encomienda, and they were forcibly labored without a say-so.
Mm-hmm. So I really see us sticking on this idea of encomienda. What do we think about Native Americans being forced to become Catholic? How do you think that added to their frustrations with the Spanish? Yabdi, if you're able to get unmuted. Okay, Yabdi reached out to me earlier about possible tech issues. Great, I will go ahead and take hands then. What do you think the role is of forced conversion on this? If you want to raise your hand in Zoom. Shakim?
I think that frustrated the Pueblos because when they were forced to convert to Catholic, it probably made them even more angry. And so they wanted to get rid of like that forced conversion and the forced influence on their society.
Awesome. So that is very much a thing with Native American history, is their culture being suppressed and being forced to become anglicized or more European. Awesome job today. I know that today was a little rushed in certain places, but you guys did great. We're going to go ahead and transition to the exit ticket. As soon as you submit your class packet and your exit ticket, you are free to go. Again, if you did not have your camera on for chunks of the class, please chat me and let me know why, so that way we can troubleshoot, so everybody can, so we can start having more cameras on in the morning. It's really going to help build that sense of community that we have. I will be watching your guys' work, and once it's submitted, you will be free to go. If you have any issues with the exit ticket, feel free to chat me. Try to finish up your exit ticket in 2 minutes. Great, thank you, Giovanni. Thank you, Jalasia. You guys are free to go once you let me know what the issue is with the camera. Thank you, Dwayne. Thank you, Ciara. Thank you, Shakeem. Thank you, Kamaya. Thank you, Kaishan. I have your guys' materials. Once you guys let me know about cameras, Kamaya and Kaishan, you are free to go. Shakeem, you're good to go. Okay, let's try to submit our work in the next 2 minutes so you don't have to worry about history anymore. And you guys can move on to your next class. Great, thank you, Jalasia, for problem solving with me, and thank you, Kaishan, for letting me know. Thank you, Tisa, Shakeem, Kaishan, Dwayne, Giovanni, Sierra, and Jalasia. I have all your materials. Everybody else, you guys can go ahead. You are free to go. Try to get these materials turned in by 9 o'clock so you don't have to worry about it. But if not, you can use your break to finish turning them in. But I want you guys to respect your breaks and take a minute away from Zoom. Try to have your cameras on tomorrow. We are really trying to push this. So that way we can still feel like we are a community in our own ways, even via Zoom. So that is it. Go ahead and make sure you get this work submitted, and I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow morning. As always, you can hop on my Zoom office hours or email me if you have any questions. Thank you, Caleb. I got your work. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the meeting. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you guys tomorrow morning.